credible approaches to impact assessment. Mm-hmm. So, in a way, we were riding that wave, and I'm sure in that sense, the KTP helped OPM keep that going, or get it going. But as I say, part of the difficulty in the second year of the KTP was that so many people in OPM were sort of pursuing their own line on it, that then it became a little less easy to coordinate it.
Yeah. And in terms of this kind of final grading, what difference did that make for you, career or any other way, at Bath University? None. And how about for kind of for REF or research assessment?
That's a good question. I suppose it would be in the next REF, wouldn't it? I have no idea. I guess it would go in the. I mean, we haven't done impact studies out of them.
Okay.
Whether it would go in some way in some of the wider, either the research environment or whatever the other one is.
Okay.
The engagement one.
Mm-hmm.
It might feature in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen drafts.
Okay, so I have two sort of final questions, and then I'll ask a kind of wrap up. But one of them is, looking back on this experience, could you have done anything better to prepare for being involved with these KTPs in hindsight?
Don't think so. I mean, I think I did find the second one more challenging because it wasn't quite so much in my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't. I probably hadn't read as much about qual methodology as I did as a result.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what felt more like the challenge to me.
Okay.
It was. I mean, my expertise in the first one was, much more central to my comfort zone than the second one.
Mm-hmm.
So it stretched me, but that was one reason. That was the reason I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wanted to, stretch myself in that direction.
Okay, that's good. And then, just as a kind of final question before I wrap up, having had this experience of doing two of them and being, sort of involved with three with yourself and James, do you have any suggestions to improve KTPs?
Nothing immediate. No, I mean, I felt that the way it was organised and the support that the associate got from the KTP person was excellent, and it all went swimmingly well, really.
Mm-hmm.
And the support we had in the university. So my suspicion is we were fortunate in that combination of things. Plus, the working relationship. I mean, to me, that would be the critical thing. What's your working relationship with the partner
mm-hmm.
organisation?
Mm-hmm. Sorry. Yeah.
But also, I mean, I think there's an element to which, as I said, we were working with the kind of people that we're used to working with, and we understand the sector from its business orientation. We've been consultants in it ourselves, and so it doesn't set up that division between academia and business that is probably where many tensions arise. The desire to get the paper out or do the academic research versus, for us that, I mean, yes, of course, you can get to a point where somebody's more engaged in the business or the organisation than doing the reflecting on it. But fortunately, OPM was sufficiently resourced not to try and pull the associates' time into things that they shouldn't be doing.
Mm-hmm. And on that,
we were fortunate.
Good. On that aspect, this reminded me one thing I didn't kind of probe into a bit more was when you were doing the final reporting. Was there any expectation to demonstrate a kind of financial cost benefit?
Well, there is. I think there is a financial section to that report. And there is in the proposal as well. You have to kind of give a projection of what your turnover is going to change, and I mean, so OPM did it. I, didn't really have a sense of it, but certainly with the first one, I think there were some clear projects that they won. I mean, it wasn't that hard in a way to see that. They didn't have to win very much business to demonstrate the turnover had improved.
Mm.
And with the second one, as I say, they were on such a trajectory anyway of growth that, I mean, how you would, if you were really to look at that in terms of causality, you'd have a jolly difficult time probably,
right.
Separating them out,
Yeah.
I mean, whether the expertise of Sultanate had, helped them develop around Qual, enabled them to just win 10% of one of these big, huge projects.
Yeah.
Would have covered the cost.
I see, yeah.
And I think that's pretty much what you had to show, pretty much.
Yeah,
something like that.
It sounds like it, yeah.
You don't, it's not profitability, it's simply revenue.
Yeah.
It's my recollection.
Yeah, I was looking at the sort of final report of a different KTP today, and that sounds like the kind of...
Yeah.
The system, yeah.
So, I mean, if you have brought in revenue that covers the cost of the KTP, you've ticked that box.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think both of them, on the basis of some, a few assumptions about project contribution, could do that. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, in some ways, much easier than selling widgets.
Yeah. And I guess, the timing, as you say, was quite sort of resonant with the requirement to do that. So I've asked all the kind of structured questions that I would like to ask. Is there anything that when you knew we were going to talk about this today, and I appreciate it's in the past, but that you thought we'd definitely talk about that we haven't touched upon or haven't addressed?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Wasn't sure where it would go, really.
Yeah, no, this is okay.
Just hoping my memory would stand me good enough stead.
Yeah, so great. So I think if we've covered everything and there's nothing that we've, no major omissions, we can close the interview there. As I say, it's been very interesting because it's a case that, and particularly for it to be a case where it's frictionless in social sciences and humanities, it's interesting. I think it's to do with the nature of the work, the nature of the field, and your existing links with the kind of partner organisation. So that's a really nice one to hear about, actually. It's been very useful for our points of view, I think.
Good. Making this kind of bold move and stepping out, then I can imagine that, yes, you may end up with no papers and, a bad experience. But, obviously in this model with the associate, we're somewhat isolated from that. Okay, it's some of our time, but it's not, it wasn't, we both had other research money at the same time. So, it was a less all eggs in one basket kind of.
Yeah. Sorry, I should just tell you I put the recording back on there because I realised this part is relevant as well. So you were just saying...
Yeah, I was realising that there was perhaps a little bit more background about both things, and I as having funding streams and being fairly prolific on, having a stream of publications that, were doing well enough for the ref anyway, so not putting us under stress. But then different institutions also have different attitudes to the ref and the kind of pressure they're putting people under.
Yeah. This is a sort of factor that we're studying in other work, but I'm not sure because I've sampled off the